The river took Awele. You won't believe what happened. The sun over Asaba that morning rose like a proud mother, golden, wide, and warm, pouring its light over the red roofs and quiet mango trees that lined Omago Street. The gentle breeze swayed the drying wrappers and lace fabrics hung carefully across verandas, carrying the scent of sun-washed soap and river air. Awele adjusted the pleats of her Ankara wrapper, cinching her waist with a firm tug as she stood behind her market stall, under a colorful umbrella that had faded from red to a sun-bleached pink. Her stall, though modest, brimmed with imported thrift clothes, jeans from Italy, baby dresses from America. She had customers every day, but not as many as her friend, Mama Nkechi, the woman who sold entire bales in 3 days and still had buyers begging for more. Still, Awele smiled, her gap-toothed grin and striking presence. A middle-aged woman with soft, dark skin like ripe odala, full hips, braided hair wrapped in gold thread, and eyes that held the storm and peace of motherhood, drew people to her. Behind her store, tied with a raffia rope, were pictures of her family. Mr. Umeadi, tall and dignified in his black kaftan, and their 4 children, ranging from teenager to a playful 6-year-old with missing front teeth. Her husband was not just a rich man, but a man who worshipped the ground she walked on. He paid the children's school fees in advance, bought her crates of foreign perfumes, and sent her bags of bills. Just in case you want more variety, he would say. They live in a compound with iron gate, a small boys' quarter, a Peugeot 504 with custom plate, and an ornamental fish pond she never cared for. Even their generator had its own enclosure. Yet, Awele's heart was a drum, always calling for more. A dry parched land that is never satisfied. Every time she watched Mama Nkechi's customers fight over her clothes like hungry bees on palm wine, a burning grew in her chest. That same woman who once borrowed her measuring tape, now laughed to the bank with truckloads of sales while she struggled to sell 20 pieces in a day. That evening, after the last customer haggled down a baby dungaree and left, Awole sat on a low stool with her face in her hands. God, I beg, why her and not me? Am I not your child too? As the sky dimmed into orange and grey, Mama Nkechi arrived in her usual way, wearing a flamboyant green hair tie, gold bangles clinging, and a nose ring that shimmered like it had secrets. Her lips were painted maroon, her smile unreadable. Your face be like yam wey dem no finish for soup, she teased, crouching beside Awele. Mama Nkechi, Awele muttered, what's the secret? No lie to me this time. I've begged God, I've fasted. I still dey here, dey sell one by one. But you dey sell like say people no dey wear cloth before. Mama Nkechi's smile faded. Her eyes darted around. She was ready to tell Awele everything and be free from her constant pleas. Awele, she said quietly, some doors, once opened, no dey close again. No. I don't want to open any door, Awele said. I just want to enter the one you dey pass. They sat in silence, with the buzz of mosquitoes and soft cries of roasted corn sellers filling the air. Then Mama Nkechi reluctantly whispered, if you really want to know, meet me next week Friday. Tell your husband you dey go with you. Wear white wrapper, no gold, no cream. Bring native egg. Awele blinked. For what? Just come. Mama Nkechi stood and walked away, her slippers slapping the earth like drums leading someone into darkness. And Awele watched her go, heart pounding, eyes wide, and something ancient, whispering her name in the wind that came off the river. The next Friday crept in slowly, like a thief peeping through an open window. Awale had barely slept the night before. She lay on the bed beside her snoring husband, eyes wide open, heart racing like akara oil on fire. Outside, the compound was quiet, except for the distant hoot of an owl and the metallic clang of the night guard's bell. She whispered a prayer. God, no be juju I dey go find oo. I just want to prosper like Nkechi. Na my portion too. Before dawn, she rose quietly, tied her wrapper, and tiptoed to the wardrobe. The white wrapper Mama Nkechi told her to wear was already folded and hidden under her second set of bras. She changed into it carefully, removed her wedding ring, and packed her hair without her usual golden thread. As she slipped out through the kitchen door, her eyes lingered on her husband, still snuggled under the blanket with their last daughter coiled beside him. She looked away quickly. She had already made up her mind. At Asaba market later that morning, the Asaba main market bustled like a restless hive. Women shouted prices, buses blared horns, roasted fish smoke the air with spices. But Awele, she was floating. Her body was spreading, selling a few trousers to schoolgirls, but her mind was racing ahead to the night's journey. Every now and then, her eyes strayed toward Mama Nkeshi's store, that store covered with green netting and overflowing with thrift, like a rainbow exploded inside it. That woman laughed loud, too loud, and sold fast, too fast. Soon I will compete with her, she muttered to herself. Just before sunset, Nkechi walked past Awele's store like a peacock on assignment. She didn't stop to talk. She only dropped a small folded paper on Awele's bench and whispered, "No phone, no torchlight, no perfume, midnight." Then she vanished into the crowd. When Awele got home, she cooked okra soup, served her husband with extra meat, bathed the kids, and led them in prayers. "Where are you going?" Umadi asked as he adjusted her hair tie. "Night vigil," she replied quickly. "Women's fellowship. Mama Nkechi invited me for special prayers for breakthrough." He kissed her forehead, trusting, "God go with you." The shoreline of River Niger was a different world at night. The full moon hung like an eye, watching their every step. Frost croaked in distant rhythm. The wind was thick with river spirits and unseen whispers. Mama Nkechi stood barefoot by the edge, holding a gourd, a clay bowl of kola nut, a native egg, and a red cloth tied to a stick. She looked serious, eyes glowing, mouth murmuring things Awele couldn't understand. Suddenly, she smiled the egg, then quickly struck the stick 3 times on the ground. The river rumbled, the waters shifted, a low humming sound, like a conch being blown from the deep, echoed across the shore. Then the river parted, slowly, like a curtain of silver silk drawn aside. In the middle was a path, dry, glowing faint blue, stretching deep into the belly of the river. Awale's legs shook. She looked back, terrified, and wanted to run, but it was too late. Mama Nkechi grabbed her hand, whispered, "Walk fast. Don't talk. Don't look sideways." And just like that, they entered. The moment Awele stepped onto the glowing path, a wave of coldness rushed through her body, not from the water, but from somewhere deeper. Like her bones remembered something her mind didn't. The parted river whispered on either side of them, walls of water trembling as if they were alive. Fish with glowing eyes swam in slow circles near the edges. Strange shadows moved within the depth, tall, graceful figures with glittering scales and long flowing hair. Mama Nkechi walked ahead, confident and swift, her wrapper soaked with moonlight. Awele followed, bare feet, brushing against seashells that cracked softly beneath her steps. As they descended, the water walls folded in behind them, closing off the human world. It felt like entering a womb, dark, sacred, alive. Suddenly, the dry path ended. Before them was a vast chamber, glowing with a strange blue light. Trees with crystal leaves arched above golden sand. Strange creatures, half woman, half fish, moved gracefully around palaces made of coral and pearls. The water shimmered like glass above their heads. Aweli froze. In the center of the city stood a throne carved from the skull of a sea serpent. Sitting upon it was a majestic figure, tall, radiant, and terrifying. She wore a crown of sea stars and shells, her skin a shimmering bronze. Her lower body was a massive silverfish tail that coiled elegantly beneath her. Her eyes, sharp, glowing white, landed on Awele, and she rose. Her voice echoed across the chamber, ancient and haunting. "My daughter! So you have finally returned." Awele's knees buckled. "What? What?" she stammered. "I don't know you." The queen laughed, not cruel, but sad. "You were taken from me as a child, stolen by fire and prayer. Do you not remember the dreams? The water calling your name in the night? An old record containing Awele's name, date of birth, and when she was supposed to have returned to the river were all there." Mama Nkechi fell on her knees and began to plead. "My queen, she only came for sales, just to sell her clothes faster. Oh. Please." The chamber dimmed. Mermaids began to sing a lullaby in a tongue Awele didn't know, but somehow understood. They welcomed one of their own that was lost, but now found. Tears streamed down her face as the memories returned. A river baptism, a Caesar, her mother's voice shouting Jesus' name. She had been claimed once before, but now the river has reclaimed her. Back on the surface, the world remained unchanged, but Mama Nkechi had changed forever. She stumbled out of the river's edge, barefoot, drenched, and trembling like a palm frond in a thunderstorm. Her wrapper clung to her skin, soaked with river water and fear. The wind howled, but it could not muffle her sobs. She looked back to the now still waters of the Niger and screamed Awele's name into the night. "Awele! I'm sorry! Please!" But the river remained silent. There were no ripples, no glow, just darkness. She sank to her knees, digging her fingers into the wet sand. "What have I done?" she sobbed. The morning after, the sun rose like an accusing eye over Asaba. Its golden light spread across zinc rooftops, muddy roads, and the open market. But Mama Nkechi didn't open her store. She sat by her window, eyes hollow, watching nothing. People knocked. Some came to buy, others came to ask. She said nothing. She hadn't slept. She hadn't eaten. She hadn't stopped hearing Awele's voice, screaming her name as the queen's guards dragged her away. By evening, the silence in the house was heavy. The children began to cry. Umadi stared at the front gate, hoping, praying that his wife would walk through it, smiling with stories from church. But she didn't. When night came again, he wore his slippers and locked the gate. "I'm coming," he told his eldest son, "to find your mother." He walked straight to Mama Nkechi's compound. She opened the door slowly, her eyes red and sunken. Umadi didn't waste time. "Where is my wife?" he asked, voice calm but firm. "She said she went to vigil with you. That's what she told me." Mama Nkechi blinked, Her mouth opened, but no words came. She tried to lie, to say they miss each other at the church, but his eyes bored into her like cutlass through a cassava stem. Please, tell me the truth, or the police will be involved, he said. We didn't go to church, she whispered. We went to the river. Umadi stepped back. The river? She wanted to sell like me. She begged me. I thought, I thought they did let her go, but the queen said she's one of them. His knees buckled. What madness are you speaking of? I will take you there tonight. You will see for yourself. That night, they returned, this time with offerings, a live cock, palm oil, and a mirror wrapped in red cloth. Mama Nkechi performed the rites again, voice shaking with every chant. The river parted once more. They walked in, and there she was, Awele, sitting beside the queen, her face calm, almost content. Her eyes didn't blink. Her lips were painted deep blue, but what shattered Umeade's heart was her lower half, now covered in silver blue scales, long and switching gently in the watery breeze. She didn't recognize him. She didn't speak, didn't even flinch when he called her name. Awele, your children are eagerly waiting for your arrival. The queen's voice rang like thunder. You, who kept my daughter from her destiny, are not welcome here. This is the last time you will ever see her. Umadu fell to his knees. Please, take everything. My car, my lands, my life. Let her go. The queen's eyes flashed with fury. Leave before I forget mercy. Guards shoved them back forcefully. The path behind them flung open, and before they could say another word, they were cast out, landing in the wet grass of the shore into the human world. The sky cracked with thunder. Umade sat in the mud, soaking wet, shaking, eyes wide. Mama Nkechi stood beside him, crying softly. The next day, the news spread through Asaba like a harmattan fire. People whispered, others mocked, some prayed she would return, but all agreed on one thing. Greed carried Awele into the deep. Now she belongs to the water, into the world of no return. The moral lesson of this story: greed can drown even the most blessed life. Awele had love, comfort, and stability, but her hunger for more led her to destruction. Contentment is true wealth. When you fail to appreciate what you have, you may lose it all. Not all secrets bring blessings. Some paths that promise prosperity are paved in darkness. Every choice has a price. Desiring someone else's success without understanding its source can be dangerous. Not every door is meant to be opened. Some mysteries are better left untouched. If this story moved you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. A friend chasing dangerous shortcuts, a loved one forgetting to value what they already have. Let Awele's story be a warning and a guide. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.